Before the year ends, I'll make this one last video, and with the year filled with waiting and disappointment, let's end off talking about Halo Infinite. At the very least, it's multiplayer. The game was delayed for 1 year, and even then there are still things missing, such as there not being co-op mode, and Forge mode is still being worked on. With these two things lacking, I think we can kind of piece together that the delay was more than just graphical fidelity. In either case, it's here now, so let's discuss what we can. I don't have single player yet, I'm actually waiting for co-op. Hopefully by then I'll have someone to run through the story with. So for multiplayer, it was released early as a sort of beta, launching with a very limited playlist. Since the launch of the campaign, the game does feel more complete in regards to what modes I can actually queue up for. And now I have something to clear up. I've never played a Halo game before in any meaningful way. I played Halo 3 a few times at a friend's house, I have the Master Chief Collection, and played Halo 4 just a little bit, but I've never owned any of the games before then. So I don't have any sort of nostalgia factor or muscle memory to discuss what is an upgrade or a downgrade. If you're like me and you haven't touched Halo before, you might find it to be a little slower paced. The action is still quick, but moving around is a little tricky. Fortunately, there are pickups that can be used to boost your mobility, such as the grappling hook or the dodge boost to get you an advantage. The time to kill is also a bit slow with most weapons, and I'm still trying to figure out that part to win more fights. Overall, it is a well-built arcadey Halo experience, in the sense that it's well optimized, the graphics are great, but to some degree the game feels dated. So if you tried Halo before and you didn't really like the multiplayer, there's not much here that would change your mind. I'd argue there's less since Forge isn't out yet. It's a fairly simple gameplay loop that a Halo arena shooter can provide. If you're like me and you want to keep playing the game to get better, then the game does feel rewarding in that sense. If you're a casual player, unless you're really into Halo, it would be tough for me to play the game often. Infinite does nothing to bring more players in, it's more of the same and it's a safe bet. I know previous attempts from 343 to make major changes came with a lot of criticism, so I can't really blame them for just making something that works, and making minor changes to keep it mostly the same. At least we'll get it for free instead of having to pay $60. So after talking about gameplay, let's talk about progression. With every free game, there's always a catch, and this is one that needs to be addressed. First off, good on 343 for not making battle passes expire, but instead just be there on the side so you can purchase and progress through them when you want. Second, bad on 343 for making progression non-linear. By that I mean you don't get any XP for playing a match. Instead, you get XP from completing tasks. Tasks that force you to play specific game modes, or to get a kill in some specific manner. This is a problem. I can understand making a set of tasks to unlock a specific item, but here you have to perform specific tasks to unlock an item. See the difference? I would be fine if there is some weapon skin that can only be unlocked by, say, hijacking 10 ghosts. It's a grind that can be done on the side to unlock that specific weapon skin, while you gain XP for playing the game itself. But in this current system, you'd have to perform that task just to gain XP to potentially unlock the next thing on the battle pass and unlock your character. Basically, you're jumping through hoops just because there's no other way to progress. I'm fine if we get a small set of XP for playing a match. Halo matches go by fast, so having it locked to 100 XP or something similar would work. If I'm playing the game for free, which I am, I'm not expecting to make a lot of ground from just playing the game. But I shouldn't just be on a standstill progression-wise because I refuse to complete a task. As far as we know, 343 is looking into this and will make some changes. I guess we'll talk about those whenever that happens. All in all, Halo Infinite is one of the most complete games we've gotten this year. Yes, it's still missing a couple of key features that's been the game's staple for years, but it is planned and will be coming out at some point, unlike a certain Battlefield game. In terms of the big three games that came out for shooters, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo, Halo is the clear winner. I'm going to be very hard pressed to give Vanguard or any Call of Duty title a win due to them being dropped after 1 year. I don't feel any game should have to go through the cycle of making a new title each year. That also includes sports games, but there's a discussion for another time. For Battlefield, the game is all over the place. We have portal mode so we can finally create our own unique experiences, but then there's only 2 dedicated game modes, Conquest and Breakthrough. We're back to a modern setting, but we only have at most 3 of each kind of weapons. We have attachments, but it's nowhere near as many or as diverse as what was in Battlefield 4, which is also missing from portal mode. Battlefield 2042 has a lot of potential to be one of the greatest online games, period, but it's still 6 months away at the very least from making any sort of impact. And portal mode doesn't mean much to me without Battlefield 4. In an attempt to do a little of everything, the game succeeded at nothing. This time around, 343 making Halo and playing it safe actually worked out. At the very least, from the start of its life cycle, the game is very solid. We'll have to see what 343 will do now with this game, and what other changes they have for it in the future. So until then, I am Mr. Rain, enjoy the holidays, and I will see you next time.